Natawag din itong mesenteric ischemia. Ayan. Mesenteric ischemia. Delayed na naman ang todo mauran. Ano ba yan? Mesenteric ischemia. Yun. Yeah. So, this is rare. Ano po? And this is rare. So, anong nangyayari sa ischemic or intestinal ischemic syndrome? So, sabi dito, a blockage in blood vessels leading to the gastrointestinal system. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, kapag merong ganito po ang isang pasyente, parts of the digestive system don't get enough blood flow and oxygen. Ano po? Kasi nga, merong blockage. Ano po? Merong blockage or obstruction. So, again, what is the cause of this one? Ayan, the cause is, ayan, paulit-ulit, atherosclerosis. Ayan, atherosclerosis. So, it is more common as people age. Ayan, then, kapag meron pong ganito, usually it happens along with heart and circulation conditions. Ayan, especially kapag may problema sa blood clotting factor ang isang pasyente. So, what makes it serious? Ano po, bakit kailangang seryosohin ang intestinal ischemic syndrome? Because even if this is a rare condition, kapag nagkaroon po ng ganito ang isang pasyente, ano po, it can lead to a life-threatening condition. So, magpapatophysiology tayo ha, yung madali lang. Yeah. So, kapag po kasi nagkaroon ng ganito, di ba? Sabi dito, it is a blockage. Ano po? There is a blockage in the blood vessels leading to your gastrointestinal system. So, kapag may blockage, ibig sabihin walang blood supply, di ba? No blood supply. Ayan. So, kapag walang blood supply, malamang wala ding oxygen. Di ba? So, kapag nawalan ng oxygen, ayan, walang oxygen, walang nutrients, magugutom ang mga cells natin. Ano po? And it can lead to cell death. Kapag nagkaroon ng cell death, magkakaroon ng tissue death, necrosis, and it will lead to what? To dead intestines. Dead intestines. Ayan. At kapag nangyari yun, I want you to remember that your intestines contains a lot of bacteria. Not only thousands, but millions of bacteria inside your intestines. Ano po, tinatawag natin yan na normal microflora of your intestines. Bakit? Diyan na talaga sila naninirahan. Ano po, mga resident microflora na yan dyan. Ano po? Ayan. Sometimes it helps with the digestion. Ayan, it helps with the vitamin K production of your body. So beneficial siya in a way. Ano po? However, given the chance that there is already dead intestines inside your body, this same bacteria or same group of bacteria can pose a threat. Bakit? They can easily become pathogenic. Ano po? Opportunistic microorganisms din yan sila. So, with dead intestines, there can easily be a spread of bacteria. Yan. So, kapag nagkaroon ng spread of bacteria, na-infect na po yung intestines nyo, ayan, can lead to infection. Ayan. And mind you ha, Your gastrointestinal system, especially your intestines, lies within your peritoneum, and your peritoneal cavity is highly vascularized. Ibig sabihin, marami pong blood vessels na matatagpuan doon sa parting yun ng katawan natin. So it makes now the infection easily spread. Ano po? All throughout the body. And when it happens, we will call it sepsis. Ayan. And sepsis, kapag hindi naagapan, it can lead to multiple organ failure. Ayan. And multiple organ failure can lead to death. Ayan. Patay na po yung pasyente. Ayan. Nagets po? Ayan. Nasa multiple organ failure pa lang yung nandoon sa screen. Ayan. Sige, nagets po ba? Ayan, 'di ba madali lang? 'Di ba? 'Yun po ang problema kapag mayroong intestinal ischemic syndrome ang isang tao. Ano po? Even if it is rare, it can be life-threatening kapag nagkaroon gano'n ang pasyente natin. Ano po? So, according to here, we have two types of intestinal ischemic syndrome. We have the acute and the chronic. So, isa-isahin natin. So, for the causes, ano po? For the causes, yung acute natin, it's more on the formation of blood clots. Ano po? Kasi acute, ibig sabihin, biglaan lang siyang nagkaroon ng ganun. 'Di ba? So, the cause can be a clot forming in your mesenteric artery. This one comprises of 15 to 25% of cases. Ayan. So, it can also be a clot. Ibig sabihin, it was an emboli na stuck doon sa mesenteric artery natin. Ano po? Maybe the clot formed in the other part of the body, it traveled, it became yung thrombus naging embolus, ayan. Tapos nag-lodge siya sa mesenteric artery. Ayan. This is 50% of the cases. And then it can also be a clot forming in nearby veins of your mesentery. It can be caused by drugs, ayan, or certain medications because certain prescription heart medications can cause blood vessels to narrow. Ano po? Like for example, your norepinephrine, diba? It causes vasoconstriction. Then, medical procedures. Anong klase ng mga medical procedures? One of which, pwedeng dialysis. Ayan. Dialysis. Bakit? Usually, sino dito yung nagkaroon na ng pasyente na post-dialysis? Sino sa inyo? Sino dito ang nag-post-dialysis care na or merong pasyente na nagda-dialysis? Ayan, kung mapapansin niyo, 'di ba, after the dialysis, the patient's blood pressure shoots up. 'Di ba? Matataas ang blood pressure niyan. Bakit? Ano po? Because dialysis will cause the blood vessels of your patient to constrict. Ano po? It's an effect. It's an expected effect after the dialysis. Ayan. How about health conditions? Ayan. Health conditions such as your sepsis, ayan, heart attack, dehydration, or allergic reaction. These health conditions can cause your blood vessels to to narrow down or constrict. Ano po? How about chronic? What are the causes of your chronic intestinal ischemic syndrome? So chronic naman, usually it is caused by circulatory diseases, ayan, and or a blood clot that forms in the mesenteric blood vessel. However, since it is chronic, this happened, gradually. Unti-unti po siyang nabuo. How about for your clinical manifestations? Ayan. Kung mapapansin niyo sa clinical manifestation, both acute and chronic, ayan, manifest abdominal pain. Ayan, parehas silang may abdominal pain. Ano po? Parehas din silang merong diarrhea. Ayan. However, sa acute, the clinical manifestation of bloating, nausea, and vomiting is present. Ano po? Ayan. Meron din pong weight loss or sudden weight loss, and ito yung pinakamaano sa kanya, meron siyang fever. Ano po? There is fever for the acute intestinal ischemic syndrome. Sa chronic naman, since matagal siyang di ba? Matagal siyang na-develop. The patient has food fear and weight loss. Ano po? Bakit food fear? Because for these types of patient, ano po, kapag kumakain sila, nagkakaroon sila ng abdominal pain. So gradually, nai-inculcate sa isip nila na every time nakakain sila, sasakit ang tiyan nila. Ano po? Up to the point na iniiwasan na nilang kumain. O, kasi nagkulog na naman niya aburos ko kan. Sasakit na naman ang tiyan ko, so hindi na ako kakain. Ayan. Takot na silang kumain. And because of that, of course, i-expect natin na magkakaroon ng weight loss ang pasyente. Ayan. Parehas din silang may changes in bathroom habits. Ayan. So, those are for the clinical manifestations. Paano naman sa management and treatment? Ayan. Sa management and treatment po, ang first priority natin as soon as the doctor diagnosed intestinal ischemic syndrome for the patient is to restore circulation. Ayan. First priority is to restore circulation. Same with your, diba? Same with your myocardial infarction. Ayan. Restore circulation. Ayan. So, it can be restored through surgery. Ayan. Surgery, bypass or bypass graft. Bypass graft. Ayan. Ito po ang first priority ng manggagamot natin. Next priority, once circulation has been restored, the doctor will check. The doctor will check if there is any damaged or dead tissues. Sulat natin. Next priority. Check for damage or dead tissues. Ayan. Kasi titingnan natin kung may damage or dead tissues. Ayan. So, if in case there are damaged or dead tissues, ayan, along the intestines or colons, ayan, removal of these sections, ayan, is the only way to fix the damage. So, tatanggalin na po ng doktor yung mga, yung mga non-functional parts ng intestines natin. Ano po? Ayan. Because this is the only way for them to prevent life-threatening complications. Since hindi naman na sila gumagana, damaged na sila, tatanggalin na po yun. So therefore, malamang sa malamang, magkakaroon din po ng, magkakaroon na din ng colostomy ang pasyente natin. Ayan. Kasi tatanggalin yung damaged part, kailangan pa rin pong magkaroon ng way for the gastrointestinal system to release its waste product. And that will be ano yan, through colostomy na. Ayan. So, aside from this, ano yan, aside from the surgical managements, the doctor will also prescribe for IV fluids. Ayan. IV fluids, bakit? Kasi since gastrointestinal system po ang concern, malamang sa malamang that the patient will also be on NPO. Ano po? Nothing per orem. Hindi siya makakakain. So, in order to continue receiving nutrients and electrolytes, ano po, thus the IV fluids. Ano po, minsan, in severe cases, baka magpa-TPN pa yan ang doktor. Ayan. Then, number 2, ayan, blood transfusions. Because during surgery, since it's the intestinal gastrointestinal system, sabi ko nga 'di ba, it's highly vascularized, i-expect po na madugo ang surgery na magaganap. Ano po, and in order to replace the blood loss, thus the blood transfusions. Ano po? Number 3, oxygenation or oxygen therapy. Oxygen therapy, and number 4, antibiotics. Yan, antibiotics, bakit? Kasi we want to prevent, we want to prevent infections from occurring. Ano po? Then, of course, we want to prevent blood clots from forming, thus the blood thinners. Ayan. So, yun po yung management and treatment natin for intestinal ischemic syndrome. So, any question po regarding this topic? Any questions po? Naintindihan ba? Ayan, so I think we can proceed with renal artery stenosis. Okay, thank you. Ayan. Sa renal artery stenosis naman tayo. Ayan. Ayan. Delayed talaga ang paging. Mahirap. Diba? Mahirap. Oo. Sige na. Ayan. Sige, hinay-hinay lang din tayo. Ayan. Yes. Oo. Sige. So for renal artery stenosis, ano po, this is one of the causes of hypertension and kidney failure for the common people. Ano po? Sulat natin yan. So, one of the causes of hypertension and kidney failure. Bakit? O, punta tayo sa sunod na slides. Nakikita niyo tong itong illustration na ito. This one is a good illustration that explains why renal artery stenosis causes hypertension and kidney failure. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba sa renal artery, and there is stenosis. 'Di ba? Renal artery is the artery that supplies blood towards your kidneys. 'Di ba? And since there is stenosis means narrowing. Ano po? So kapag nag-narrow down po ang renal artery, ayan, because of atherosclerosis, ayan, there will also be, there will also be less amount of blood going towards your kidneys. Ano po? So, less amount of blood, less blood pressure. Ano po? At yun, masisense yan ni kidneys. O, sabi dito, low blood pressure, I can sense it. O, at since yung kidneys natin, it's highly sensitive to the blood pressure of our body, magde-decide na siya ngayon to fix the blood pressure by raising it. Ano po? Ano nang i-activate niya? I-activate niya na yung RAAS natin. Ano po? Ayan, para tumaas yung blood pressure. Kaya nagkukos siya ng hypertension. And at the same time, kaya siya nagkakaroon ng kidney failure because, remember that your blood carries oxygen, nutrients. na kailangan ng kidneys natin. Ang kidneys natin may mga cells din yan. Oo, may mga cells and tissues that need all of those nutrients in order for it to function properly. So deprivation of the blood, ayan, can cause kidney failure. Hindi na siya makakapagtrabaho ng maayos kasi gutom siya, 'di ba? Ayan. So parang yung gutom na nararamdaman natin ngayon, 'di ba? Ramdam natin 'yan. Kidneys lang peg. Ayan. Sige. So, yon. Ano po? So, what is the cause of, ano ba talaga ang renal artery stenosis? Ayun, sinagot na natin, di ba? So, yung cause ng renal artery stenosis is atherosclerosis again. Ayan, atherosclerosis, which amounts to 60 to 90% of cases. Ano po? And the other remaining, the other remaining percentage, it is caused by your fibromuscular dysplasia. Fibromuscular dysplasia. So, ano ba ang fibromuscular dysplasia? This one is an abnormal cell growth on artery walls. So, this abnormal cell growth can cause narrowing down of the arteries. So, itong fibromuscular dysplasia, this is more common in females. It can be due to genetics or hormones. Ano po? So, what are the risk factors for renal artery stenosis? Sulat natin. Risk factors. So, first risk factor is having diabetes. Diabetes. And number 2, family history. Family history, ayan, of cardiovascular diseases. Number 3, high blood pressure. Or high cholesterol. Obesity. Old age. Yan. Kapag sa mga lalaki, males over 45, ayan, then females over 55. Ayan. Poor diet. And of course, smoking. Bakit sila risk factors ng renal artery stenosis? Kasi po, these risk factors are the same contributing factors for your atherosclerosis, which is the main cause of your renal artery stenosis. Diba? Ayan. So, hindi talaga siya nag-ano. Sige, hintayin natin. Hintayin natin pag ano. Baka sakaling dumating. Sige. Kasi tapos ko nang isulat dito nagsusulat pa lang siya eh. Sige lang. Kaya niya yan. Ayan. Ayan. Sige, so diabetes, family history of cardiovascular disease, ibig sabihin kung ang parents nyo or any of your family have cardiovascular disease, you're at risk. Ano po? High blood pressure, high cholesterol, ayan, obesity, old age, poor diet, and smoking. Ayan. Kaya sa mga naninigarilyo po dyan, utang na loob, please. Ayan. Pag-isipan nyo na, may chance pa kayo. It's not too late. Sige. Doon na tayo sa clinical manifestations. In the clinical manifestations, ano po? In many cases, actually, ano po, yung renal artery stenosis natin, hindi siya nagpo-cause ng symptoms. Ano po? Nagko-cause lang siya ng symptoms like hypertension and reduced kidney function kapag nag-progress na siya. Pag mas lumala na siya, ayan, that's the time nagko-cause na siya ng hypertension and kidney function. And usually, the clinical manifestations now of the patient will be, of course, high blood pressure and signs of poor kidney function. So, paano mo na malalaman? What are the clinical manifestations of poor kidney function? Isulat natin. Isusulatan ba? Wala. Ayan. Sulat natin dito. Red naman niya para maiba na. Or orange. Ayan. Of poor kidney function. Sige. Tingnan nyo ha, baka meron kayo nito O, mag-isip-isip na. Number 1, concentration problems. Sino na ako niyan? Concentration problems. Ayan, nagle-leksyon si ma'am, agkuman ibang ginigibo. Ayan, or hindi naintindihan. Confusion. Confusion. Ayan. Number 2. Number 2, difficulty sleeping. Difficulty sleeping. Number 3, ayan, edema. Tingnan mo sa sarili sa salamin. Tingnan mo kung taba lang ba yan or edema. Ayan. Then, number 4, fatigue. Uy, parang ako to. Fatigue. Ayan. Pagising mo sa umaga, hindi ka pa bumabangon, pagod ka na kagad. Ano po? Ayan. Then, number 5, headaches. Uy, feeling ko talaga ako din. Headaches. Then, loss of appetite. Loss of appetite. Muscle cramps. Ayan. 7, muscle cramps. Bakit? Because your kidneys, ayan, one of the functions of your kidneys is not only to filter your blood, ano po, ayan, and produce urine. Your kidneys are also the ones responsible for your electrolyte balance. Ano po, especially with your sodium and potassium. Ano po? So of course, kung halimbawa po hindi na gumagana ng maayos yung kidneys natin, magkakaroon na din tayo ng imbalance for these electrolytes, thus the muscle cramps. Ano po? Number 8, nausea and vomiting. Dyspnea. Usually dyspnea kapag nagkakaroon ka ng pag progress na masyado yung kidney failure at nagkakaroon na ng metabolic acidosis yung pasyente. Ano po? So nagko-compensate na yung paghinga ng pasyente. And in order to give off the carbon dioxide that is excess in the blood. Ano po? Then number 10, skin changes. Usually, mapapansin niyo sa mga pasyenteng may kidney problem, dry ang skin, ayan, dry and darkened skin sila. Ano po, and sometimes they will complain of itchiness. Ano po? Yan. Then, number 11, saan ko na ilalagay yung 11? Dito na lang. 11, unexplained weight loss. Unexplained weight loss. And then number 12, urinating more or less frequent. Kaya, hintayin natin. Urinating more or less often. Kapag po hindi na talaga gumagana yung kidneys natin or yung kidneys ng katawan ng pasyente, darating na siya sa from oliguria, anuria na yan siya. Wala na siya talagang, wala na talaga siyang mapoproduce na ihi, and therefore, subject na siya for dialysis, hemodialysis. Ayan. So, what would be the diagnostic exams? Paano mo malalaman or paano mo ma-diagnose na merong renal artery stenosis ang pasyente? So, first, in the physical exam, i-check mo ang alin? The blood pressure, ayan. Check for swellings in the, swelling in the limbs, ayan. And we will check for the lung sounds. Ayan. Sa kidney function test naman, ayan, kidney function test, i-check natin for increased level of protein, ayan, creatinine, and nitrogen. No po, kasi kapag increased po ito, ibig sabihin, yung kidneys ng pasyente is not filtering waste na from your blood efficiently. Kaya doon sa dugo, mataas pa rin yung levels nila. No po, in the imaging scans, ayan, the doctor might order for renal scan. Tulad natin, renal scan. Renal scan. Ano pa? Duplex ultrasound. Duplex ultrasound. Then, CTA. Ayan, CTA or computerized tomographic angiography. Ayan, yung CTA natin. Or MRA. Ayan, MRA. This is in order for the doctor to visualize, and evaluate the size of both kidneys. Kasi ang renal artery stenosis po, di ba dalawa ang kidneys ng tao? Ano po? Ayan, minsan, isang kidneys lang naman yung affected. Ano po, yung isa, okay naman siya. So, i-compare yan ng doktor. Ayan, i-evaluate na yung size of both kidneys, and at the same time, the doctor will know how well the blood is getting into your kidneys. Is there any blockage? O kumusta ang blood flow papunta sa kidneys ng pasyente? Ayan. For the management, dali lang yan. Lifestyle changes tayo. Okay? Lifestyle changes. Siyempre, kasama sa lifestyle changes, ang alin? Balanced diet. Eating heart-healthy food. Eating heart-healthy food. Ayan. So kapag heart-healthy food, dapat low in fat, cholesterol, sodium, and sugar. Oh, bakit? Kasi tingnan nyo yung risk factors. Ayan, diabetes. So syempre dapat, para maiwasan ang diabetes, dapat iwasan yung matatamis na pagkain. O ano pa, hypertension. So dapat mababa din ang cholesterol at bawal din ang masyadong matatabang pagkain. 'Di ba? Aside from diet, Oo, i-encourage din natin siya for a regular exercise. Regular exercise. Kung masyadong mataba ang pasyente natin, we can encourage them to lose weight. Lose weight. And kung naninigarilyo ang pasyente natin, we will advise them to quit smoking. Ako, quit smoking or avoid second-hand smoke. Ayan. So, after the lifestyle changes, meron din tayong, ano yan, yung mga medications natin. Ano po? Medications. Sa medications, of course, i-expect natin, yung prescribe yan si Doc. Ayan, ang mga medications to regulate blood pressure. Blood pressure. Ayan. And of course, to slow the progression of the disease. And slow uh, anong disease? Of course, kidney failure or kidney disease. So, ano mga gamot ito? O, pwedeng mag-prescribe yung doktor ng ACE inhibitors. ACE inhibitors, ayan. Ano pa? Angiotensin, receptor blockers, then aspirin. Aspirin, by the way, is a blood thinner. Ano po? O, then beta blockers. Beta blockers and calcium channel blockers. Then diuretics. Syempre, diuretics in order for the body to expel the excess fluid or excess water in the blood. Ano po? Then, statins. Yung statins, of course, to deal with the excessive amount of cholesterol. Ano po? Reduce cholesterol. So, yun po yung mga medications. How about, ano yan, if in case the patient is not, ano yan, is not receptive for lifestyle changes and medication, still hindi pa rin masyadong effective. Ayan, continuous pa rin ang pag-progress ng renal artery stenosis, then that's the time that the doctor will opt for surgery. Po. So, anong mga surgery? So, first, angioplasty and stenting. Ito, minimally invasive lang to, angioplasty and stenting. Ano po? Number 2, renal artery bypass. Itong renal artery bypass, same procedure lang din po ito, same concept with the peripheral artery bypass graft natin. Ano po? Then, number 3, renal endarterectomy. Renal endarterectomy, ayan, the doctor will make a surgical incision, ayan, doon sa affected artery and, ano yan, tatanggalin niya, i-scrape niya yung offending plaque. Ano po? So, that's it for your renal artery stenosis. Any questions po bago tayo mag-declare ng break? Sigutom na ang mga person. Any questions? Naintindihan po ba? Nakakasabay? O, pagpasensyahan niyo na, medyo delayed lang po yung telecast natin kasi ano yan, mabagal po yung internet. Ayan. Sige. Magsabi na lang po if in case na hindi gumagalaw yung slides or may problema. Ano po para makapag-adjust tayo. Okay? Sige po. Ayan. So, I think we can now declare for a lunch break. Amo po. So, now it's 11:26. So, is it okay if we can be back at 12:30? Ayan. 1 hour break tayo. And para matapos din tayo kaagad. Amo po. Sige. Thank you so much everyone. I'll see you at 12:30. Sige, bye-bye na muna.